All right, everybody, how's it going? Time for a little bit of Sunday evening breaking news. The Seahawks have filled their open roster spot from the waiving of Levi Lewis, and they have done so in a way that I wouldn't have predicted or expected. That's not to say it's bad. I'm relatively indifferent to it, but this is notable because this is actually a veteran player who has done a I don't want to say a significant amount of stuff in the NFL, but he's been a presence in the NFL that most people are aware of. So the Seahawks have filled their open roster spot with wide receiver Marquise Goodwin. So Goodwin is 31, he'll turn 32 in like November. He's been around. He The best thing you can say about him is that he at one point had, and to a certain extent still has, Olympian level speed. He is a speedster. You tell him to run in a straight line, he will outrun most people. That was why he got drafted so high. I think he actually competed for the Olympics at one point. Literally, when I say Olympian level speed, it's not just a metaphor. He was actually trying to, I believe at one point, actually compete in the Olympics. So there's not a whole lot to say other than that when it comes to Goodwin. Very fast, still very fast despite his advanced age and all the years he's spent in the NFL. But the speed never really got to the point where it was making him a great football player. There's a long history of NFL players who were really fast but never able to totally translate it. Goodwin is that. However, that doesn't mean to imply that he's completely useless. So if you go to his PFR page just to get an idea of what we're looking at here, Marquise Goodwin, smaller guy, 5'9", 180 pounds, so he's actually a little bit smaller than Bo Melton, just to give you guys an idea of what we're dealing with here. And you look at his career, he kind of defines the idea of all or nothing type player, right? Like his yards per reception on his career is great, 16 and a half. He's a big play threat. He makes big plays, but he only catches about half the balls that get thrown in his direction. Literally on his career, he's 160 for 320. So you throw the ball to him, half the time it ends up on the ground. Now, he's had bad quarterbacks, Buffalo, San Francisco, and then last year Chicago. He's never had a very good quarterback. That's absolutely a fair point. But regardless, this is a guy who doesn't bring much to the table except big playability and pure raw speed. And I'm a big fan of speed, so it's not like I have a problem with that. If you look at his career, obviously things didn't work out very well in Buffalo. He had his best year under Kyle Shanahan for the 2017 49ers, almost had 1,000 yards. Seemed like he was going to be a late bloomer. And then things faded very quickly for him to the point where he was actually out of the NFL in 2020. Came back in 2021 for a semi-successful year with the Bears, and now it looks like he's here. So what I can say about this beyond that would just be that we have a lot of depth at receiver from my perspective. We got a lot of interesting things going on at the receiver spot. You've got veterans who have proven themselves. You've got young guys with something to prove. You've got young guys who have already proven something and are about to be entering their prime. You've got all these things going on with this crew of receivers. It's not the area I necessarily would have thought we need to shore up a little bit with a veteran. But I will not turn down speed of this nature. This guy is a track stud, and that will always put the fear into a defense to know that the guy lining up across from me can run faster than me, and if he gets behind me, it's over. So he doesn't necessarily have a quarterback this year who's going to be much better than what he's had before with like EJ Manuel, Jimmy Garoppolo, Justin Fields a little bit. So I'm not going to act. Nick Mullins, actually, I think one of those years would actually be the I believe at least one of those years he had Nick Mullins for most of the season. So I wouldn't say that's going to get that much better, but we do have a quarterback with a cannon for an arm in Drew Lock. If it ends up being Drew Lock starting, then having a guy like Goodwin who can go deep and take the top off is going to help. But I look at this roster and I go, I think we already have a couple of those guys. So, I don't know. I don't know if he's likely to make the roster. I don't know if this is some sort of hedging our bet against a player that might have an injury that we don't know about yet in case it ends up lingering on into the fall. But I don't have an issue with it. I don't know if I see a spot for him on this team in a meaningful way. I look at him and I go, yeah, he's got some clear talent. There are some things he can do, maybe better than anyone or almost anyone else on this team, but it's such a difficult depth chart to crack right now for a player who isn't obviously worthy of that roster spot. I mean, we're already trying to figure out how we're going to get Derek Young on this team without him getting snatched up off our practice squad. So, I don't know. This might end up not meaning anything, but I do find it interesting that this is the area we would decide to address with a veteran. So let me know what you guys think down below. Marquise Goodwin coming to Seattle for the time being. Might not make the final 53-man. Might just be here for practice or preseason. We'll see what the contract is. That might offer some clues, but I have no problem with the player. I just wonder what he's going to be able to do here. All right. See you guys later. I'm going to go live on Twitch shortly here, by the way. So if you're watching this video right after I uploaded it, then come on by and we will have some fun for the rest of the night. Peace out, go Hawks, and see you guys later.